And on this segment of our little get together, the home edition, we have a young lady who has never, ever been through our doors before, but we hope she'll come back again. Suzanne Salichs. Suzanne was with the Wagoner Community Hospital, and she is the grant director. Suzanne, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Have you.
Thank you.
You guys just got some wonderful news down there at the hospital, did you not?
Yes. Well, we recently received our second grant to work on substance use disorder in Wagoner County. So we're very excited about that. Yeah.
How much did it come to?
The second grant was for $1 million. $1 million grant over a 3-year period of time. Yes.
Now, that money will go to what end in the hospital?
So it's going to do a few things. It's going to improve prevention education, and that's not just in the hospital. I mean, that's in the community, primarily in schools. It will also be throughout the community. It will also improve treatment for substance use, as well as recovery options and support systems for individuals struggling with substance use disorder.
That a lot of that, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of that would be opioid?
Yes, a lot of it is opioids, but when we talk about substances, we're also referring to alcohol, marijuana, other types of drugs as well.
Mm-hmm. You know, you're not alone in this. There are other counties in Oklahoma, and there are other counties, cities, and states in this country fighting the same battle.
Yes, it's actually a worldwide epidemic. It hit Oklahoma particularly hard. As small as Oklahoma is, it was still impactful, and most of that were through opioids and prescriptions. So yes, it's been a long, hard battle for many people.
Suzanne,
but we're positive, and we're seeing. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We're seeing positive changes. There's clearly changes from 2011, 2012, and forward. So we are seeing improvements in that area.
One of the problems that seems to contribute to the abuse of opioids, well, it's a two-edged sword. One, it's not hard to get your hands on them, but two, unemployment seems to be a major factor. Is that true in your area?
When we look at the opioid epidemic and we look at opioid or substance use in general, there are cycles, right? There's patterns, and opiates, someone could become addicted on an opiate, lose their job, or not able to maintain a job, lose their house, their vehicle, things of that nature. So they're kind of cycles. But I do want to say, on a positive note, again, we've seen major changes in laws that have helped decrease that opioid dispensement rate, for example, through prescription monitoring and other methods. So those are positive things that we're seeing happening.
Well, it brings to mind the state of Oklahoma recently announced, not a settlement, but they're going to reap some benefits from the admissions of the folks that make opioids. A lot of money is going to be headed this way. Will you guys share in that?
I think we as a state will share in different ways, and it will go into prevention efforts, it will go into recovery efforts and treatment efforts as well. And that's our threefold focus for both of our grants. Mm-hmm. Prevention is a huge piece. The more we can educate young people on substances and just making healthier life choices, I think it impacts us all in many, many ways for years to come, right? And then, of course, I've mentioned the treatment piece, which is also very important for individuals that are currently struggling. And we have evidence-based programs and treatments right now that are proven methods, and we want to offer these options to individuals that are struggling with substance use. And we also want the recovery piece, once they're maybe through a program, whether it be a treatment program, a detoxification program, that they're able to go forward on their pathway, right? and stay in what we call recovery, an active recovery.
Well, and we need to point out too that the addiction problem doesn't recognize race or age. It will go anywhere it can get its hooks in.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Sam. Race, age, even income. None of these are factors. Addiction it's a tough thing. Addiction is a very, very tough thing, and it touches all of our lives in one way or another.
Well, some of these folks will never, ever come back. They'll never be productive again. That's how dangerous this situation is. Are you alone in this battle, you in the hospital, or
No.
are there others in the fight with you?
There absolutely are. We have amazing partners, the Cherokee Nation, Muskogee Creek Nation, Creoks Health Services, behavioral health organizations, just Parkside Psychiatric Hospital and Clinic, the health department. I can go on and list all of our amazing partners. Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics. We work in many different arenas, again, focused on prevention, treatment, and recovery. And our partners will bring expertise into each one of those areas. We're not alone. There's multiple organizations in our city, in our county, our state, and the community. The community plays an important role.
I get the feeling that you've gone outside the office and seen firsthand what can happen. Am I reading this correctly?
Oh, yeah, yes. And we looked at other communities, and we looked at where they've been able to implement successful programs, right? Effective and efficient programs. And we were modeling ours on that. And we're excited about these grants that the federal government believes in us to be able to accomplish this.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's an amazing problem. The solutions are not simple.
No.
And I don't care who comes along and says, oh, well, you know, that's a choice. They can get out of that anytime they want to. No, they can't. It's very difficult for you, for me, and folks that are not involved to even become familiar and grasp the hold that addiction has on a lot of folks. But you've seen that firsthand.
Yes, in many different ways, young and old, and as you mentioned, it crosses all demographics. And one of the other things I want to emphasize too is we work a lot with families, parents, siblings, loved ones of individuals that are struggling with substance use, and they're feeling it as well in many different ways.
Wait a minute, are you saying several members of one family?
Well, I'm saying we support family members.
Oh, I see.
Who
Okay.
may have a son or daughter or a loved one that is struggling with substance use. So we're able to support them as well.
I thought for a minute you were saying several members of the same family, which...
Well, we happen to know husband and wife, you know.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, and one may be in a different, one particular that comes to mind is on a different path. The husband's been in recovery a longer time than the wife has. But it's, you know, I hate to coin the phrase, but it really is about one day at a time. It's about just taking every day as a blessing. Every day is an opportunity to move forward on this pathway to recovery.
I can't even begin to imagine what that must be like. And I know in my heart you're the same way. It's just incredibly difficult to wrap my head around that kind of a problem. And yet it's there.
It is.
If you don't believe I know what I'm talking about, get in the car after dark and take a drive down through parts of this city where folks live under the bridge or in behind bushes, and watch them when they come out. Be careful. Don't get out of your car, but you'll see things that will absolutely astound you. And these are the ones that live in the shadows. No one knows what they're going through. Nobody understands it because they haven't lived it. There are folks who, as far as you and I are concerned, we see them from time to time. They look just fine. They act quasi-normal, but they're fighting a battle that almost as severe as the ones the folks that live under the bridge are fighting.
And you mentioned that, and I want to also share with you, Sam, if I might, part of what we're going to be able to do, and two positions that we're going to be able to bring into the hospital, they're going to coordinate services from our emergency room and our mental health unit. And we have a program called New Visions Detoxification. It's a withdrawal management program. And the courts and the police department and our behavioral health providers, for those individuals that are coming through our doors that need housing and employment once they're in treatment, right? And again, on their journey of to recovery. I want to mention too that one of the positions is actually a peer recovery support specialist, which basically is a person that's in recovery. So they've been down this road, a very similar road as the person they may be serving, but they're far enough along in their recovery that they're able to help others. And that concept in itself is a wonderful thing.
Suzanne, we got about a minute left. How do you impress on people the need for support of taking on the addiction problem in our area?
Well, get involved, read about these issues. Contact your elected officials to learn more, your law enforcement, your courts. They're dealing with this every day. An advocate, be a champion for something that if it strikes you, get involved and help these individuals along the way as well.
Suzanne, I want to thank you for taking time, and congratulations on the big grant. I think that's wonderful news, and I know you'll put it to good use.
Thank you. And we are already, and we're excited about it.
Well, you should be. You're probably going to go after another one now. At least I would. Hey, thank you for taking time to visit with us. And again, congratulations.
Thank you. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. We're all out of time, folks. Thank you for being a part of it, and we'll see you back here next time.